It's the 30th of April 2024 when we untie the lines and get ready to leave Dover Marina. To exit the outer marina, you have to radio Dover VTS and request permission to leave the marina and exit through the western entrance. We hoisted the sails and set off for our first destination. On arriving in Eastbourne, we have to call up on the VHF to await instructions for entering the lock. The lock was straightforward and the staff were really helpful. Thank you. So I'm locked off at the moment.
No, it's fine.
You've got a fishing boat waiting to come in.
We've just left Eastbourne and we're now starting our trip across the English Channel towards Dieppe in France. No wind yet, a little bit murky, we've got the mainsail up, hoping the wind will fill in, but at the moment just motoring towards the shipping channel and it looks quite quiet this morning, which is good.
Morning, sir.
As Dieppe is a recognised port of entry, we could get our passport stamped here. We stayed for 3 days, waiting for the wind to change direction to make our next passage easier. We enjoyed exploring the town and the walks around the coastal path. Simon enjoys trimming the sails, so I leave him to it as we head towards our next stop. It took 3 attempts to get into the channel to enter the lock at Deauville, and when we walked out at low tide, we could see why. The starboard marker was nowhere near the channel, making our entry significantly harder. It was my birthday while in Deauville, so my gorgeous sister and family came to visit and shared in the celebrations over the weekend. Seeing dolphins while we're out sailing is always a really special moment. You never quite know what to expect when entering a lock for the first time, but we seem to be getting the hang of it.
Okay, clear.
We were able to stamp out our passports at Cherbourg as we left France to head over to the Channel Islands. So we're in 9.5 knots of wind, but we've got such a strong tide coming around here. We're in 9.9, 9.7 knots over the ground. It's Liberation Day today as we arrive in Guernsey, and the celebrations are already well underway. The port's really busy, but they squeeze us in and we raft up against another boat. Guernsey is so beautiful and there is so much to see, we end up staying in St Peter Port for 3 nights. And because of the concrete sill, we have to wait for high tide before we can leave. The tide was really strong heading towards Beausset Marina, and we had to concentrate on the markers and rocks at the approach, which was very narrow. I wouldn't want to do this in the dark. We were the only visitors here at Beausset Marina, so we had the whole pontoon to ourselves. We stayed on Guernsey a further 3 nights to explore the north of the island by foot and by bus. The buses are brilliant and it's so easy to hop on and off so you don't miss any of the beautiful beaches or the incredible history that's here. It's such a fascinating place. We picked up a mooring buoy in Alderney and were pleased not only that there were plenty available, but that we also got it on the first attempt. When we stay on a mooring buoy, we use the dinghy to get to shore. Brittany was just beautiful. We were so lucky with the weather and enjoyed the peace and tranquility that it had to offer. While we were on our walk, they'd increased the size of the pontoon, so much more space for everyone to put their dinghy.
That was really fun. Simon's going forward to get a line ready to attach ourselves to a mooring buoy if there's one free. If not, we'll get ready to anchor. So a few empty mooring buoys, and this is our view of Sark. And just one other boat has come to join us. By the time we got the dinghy off the boat, the sun had come out and it was time to go and explore. The original ladder to climb up the cliff looked pretty precarious, so we were glad to see new steps where we could park the dinghy and get ashore. There were no cars on Sark, and with its gentle pace, it was like stepping back in time. Where's your life jacket, Simon?
What have we done under the sun?
After visiting Alderney and Sark, Jersey seemed very busy, but looking at the empty beaches, it was still a beautiful place to visit. It's 6:30 in the morning and we're waiting for the cargo ship Commodore Goodwill to enter Jersey before we're allowed to leave. It was also calm leaving Jersey, but the sea state we were just about to be faced with wasn't quite what we were expecting. Once we got the sails up, it was much more comfortable, and the passage, albeit a long one, 100 miles, was actually not too bad. We approached Brixham after a long day, just as the light was about to fade.
I'll get it on the water first and then... Lovely calm anchorage here at Anstey Cove, but we're leaving this morning and heading off to Salcombe. The anchor up.
master is always happy to help you take a line to a mooring buoy. The bay is always very busy, which gives us plenty to watch when we're sat on the boat. Problems with the anemometer meant that Simon needed to climb the mast and investigate. But it was a beautiful day, so we then headed out for a walk. It was grey and windy when we arrived in Plymouth, and Simon was back up the mast as the anemometer still wasn't working. But the sun did come out and we could celebrate with Evie, her finishing university and getting a job. And then soon it was time to get the boat prepped, ready for our overnight passage from Plymouth to Dover, leaving the next morning. Using our new whisker pole
for the Genoa. Bit of wing on wing.
As we sailed the passage across Lyme Bay, the dolphins joined us for most of the way until the sun began to set.
To do the night watch. See you later. Modes on the chart plotter. Simon's doing the last
what we
check
like to see.
to make
Bit
sure
of blue
everything's
sky,
all right
bit of
before I
sunshine,
go and have a nap
nice flat
down there.
seas. A bit more wind
And
would be
we
nice.
do
We
the
could
night
actually
shift.
sail. But then we look at these clouds that look like we're going to get maybe some wind, but lots of rain. On our way to Dungeness. We left Plymouth Wednesday, 9:45, and it's now Thursday. It's about 6 o'clock in the evening. And we've got some way to go still until we're home. We should arrive in Dover about midnight.